Dunwall is changing fast. 6 months ago, Draper's Ward was where Dunwall's rich and well-born strolled and shopped and tried to be seen. The plague burned through it in days. Today it's a battleground where two street gangs fight over the spoils. The Hatters and Lizzie's gang, the Dead Eels. Lizzie Stride was the boss until Edgar Wakefield betrayed her and took her place. And the riverboat. It's the kind of thing that happens every day in Dunwall. I don't judge him. I've done worse myself. But I need that boat. Edgar Wakefield and I have business.
Alright. We're in the middle of a gang war this time. Though it's not a massive one.
The textile mill used to run off a water wheel before the canal went dry. It started up again recently, and whatever the Hatters did to get it working has enraged the Dead Eels. They're fighting in the streets.
And right there is the only fighting in the streets we're going to see.
We got here first.
And luckily, since they're in Dishonored, they are entirely blind while speaking.
When's your old man coming out to fight?
We've been making something for you, little eels.
What's the matter? Too much knitting to do?
Crawl back to the river. You ain't a real gang. You're just a bunch of mudlarks.
We're gonna check out how the fight goes, because it matters for later in the mission. Unfortunately, the Hatters win. But at least one of them died. Had the Dead Eels won, a part later in the mission would be much simpler.
I'm stymied. I thought dragging it up out of the mud was the hard part. But I have no idea. Hammers. Look at it. You think hammers will break it open? Explosives. Sure. The sound brings everyone running. Then we gotta share. And what if it calls some eels, huh? There must be a way. Think what could be in there. You know what would be funny? If it wasn't locked. What? Of course it's locked. Look at it. You mean you haven't even tried it? What do you think I am? Stupid? It's over. Just make it quick. Get up. Get up and we'll finish this. I can't. There's something wrong in there. Feels like I'm burning inside. Kill me if that's what you want. Find me when you can walk. You owe me a proper fight.
On High Chaos, he will just kill the eel. I don't know how that follows, but it is what happened.
So you know the Rothwell place got shut down. But I heard an interesting rumor.
What's that?
The same day that Rothwell vanished, a ship left the slaughterhouse bound for Samara. I'll bet he was on it.
Why would he go to Samara?
Who knows? But he hasn't been found in Dunwall. And a guy like that doesn't disappear that easily.
Huh. I'll bet he fell in one of those meat processors. and got canned as whale meat. Some idiot is probably having him for dinner right now and doesn't even know it.
It is distressingly easy to just walk into the Dead Eel's base. Because here we are.
Wakefield's a hard man, but he's not as fun as Lizzie. Lizzie enjoyed it more.
Yeah, even Lizzie never drowned victims in a sack. Still see him squirming for air.
Yeah. How's he gonna top that? I can't believe we're missing the Boyle party. Luxury. Sitting next to the river. Or canal, at least. Just waiting to be taken.
All those prancing nobles in their fancy masks. Strip them of their jewels and set them on fire. Finest time in the world.
Drowning. Drowning's worse.
Set on fire's worse.
Drowned is worse.
You ever see a man set on fire? What does he do? jumps in the water.
Very funny.
So clearly this mission
Shaw's making his way to the party by boat.
takes place before the Boyle party.
What? How do
The
you
same
hear
day.
things like that?
I have some connections.
There's the boat. Wakefield's probably keeping himself below decks. Whatever I do to him, it will be a mercy compared to what Lizzie has in mind.
A loading screen hint also implies that this is before Corvo wakes up on the same day. Since when he wakes up, an announcement is heard about Martin being the new High Overseer. And the loading screen hint in this mission implies that no new High Overseer is chosen yet.
Lizzie's boat is smaller than I remember.
These guys have terrible security.
Time to signal Lizzie.
And Wakefield is coming with me. Why we couldn't just make a deal with Wakefield to have them help us with the boat, I don't know. Maybe nobody but Lizzie would be insane enough to work with Dowd.
Lizzie Stride is assuming control of the dead eels now. She's ordered them to give you safe passage.
The dead eels are friendly now.
Your friend Edgar Wakefield set me up to be taken by the City Watch, and you followed him. Took his orders. But you know what? I forgive you. All of you. I'm filled with love. But the following people each owe me a finger. Logan, Douglas, Bang Bang, Ferris, Pigface, the Bakers, and Annabelle.
Shit.
2 from you, Annabelle. Have a good night. That piece of garbage, Edgar. I'm still living with his incompetence. He let the Hatters cripple the Undine.
Ship seems fine to me.
They took the engine coil. We're dead in the water.
What is it? Can we make a new one?
They don't make them anymore, not for an engine like the Undine's. We'll have to get it back.
The geezer still leads the Hatter gang, right? I'll pay him a visit.
It won't be that easy. There's a snag.
Always is. What's this one?
The geezer's about 100 years old by now. He's got it rigged so that if he dies, the whole place gets gassed. So they're real careful around him. Got him a nurse and everything. Maybe you can cut a deal for that engine coil. Turn on the charm. One of the Hatters gave me their door password in exchange for keeping the rest of his fingers. It's whalebone. I never got to use it on account of the gas. And being in jail.
Just be ready to move when I get back.
Okay, if we leave Wakefield here, Lizzie will kill him. Luckily, none of the dead eels actually care about us walking with Wakefield.
What'd I see
The fuck are
Dowd do
you
then?
looking at? Just because he can do strange things doesn't mean there's an invisible man watching us. I'll ask him when he does it.
Well, your security is terrible. They do act as though they mind the corpse carrying, but if it's Wakefield, they don't go hostile unless they already are. So we just took out the trash. No biggie. Now we need to get to Hatter territory.
We'll put in warehouses all along this street. When the Hatters are gone, we could be rich in 5 years.
If the plague lives, the City Watch doesn't throw us all into the ground.
They've got bigger things to worry about. What about this mask?
Now there's a pretty quick route to the Hatter's door. However, these guys still being alive does pose an annoying problem. I didn't investigate it further, but it seems like getting close to one of the surviving Hatters, specifically that guy over there, triggers him and his buddies to attack the dead eels.
Somebody, give me a hand.
Like that. If you happen to be between him and where he's going, he will see you.
Quiet in the
Almost
city.
bullets. Don't look at
Almost
me.
like it
Fried
used to be.
Rome's-
Going that way is the safest route.
Let me just a few.
Get caught out when the dead eels come across the canal? No thanks. Every man for himself.
Hatter pride. I'm touched.
By the way, it seems like Lizzie was lying about getting the password from a Hatter in exchange for not breaking his fingers. She actually got the password from the geezer.
Whalebone.
Come in. Sir, the Hatters are using the textile machines to make shrouds for the plague dead.
Now we know why they took the engine coil.
The man who runs the Hatters is more cunning than he looks. He can flood this place with a toxic gas. In time, it'll eat through our air filters. You may have to make a deal.
She also is momentarily distraught if she hears the geezer has died.
Keep your hat on. I was just asking.
Just because you're in charge of the gate, it don't mean the rest of us are idiots.
Yeah? Well, since you're such a genius, it ought to be real easy to see who it was. So go check it out.
Fine. I don't know why you're worried about nothing.
So clearly there is some sort of a secret relationship between them. Developer commentary has later verified that the geezer, Mortimer Hatt, is intended to be Lizzie's dad. A complicated family relationship there.
What will I do now?
Now, we need the engine coil, which is downstairs, behind a code lock. We could strike a deal with the geezer, or his nurse, in exchange for the code and therefore the engine coil. However, Geezer's deal would mean we have to kill him, and Trimble is an asshole.
Wakefield's miscalculated badly.
Plus, both deals
Predicted this would happen, of course.
would mean we would have to talk to people. So luckily there is a third option.
What's that? Oh, stop complaining, old man. I'm giving you a legacy. What were the Hatters before I arrived? I'll tell you. A shadow of their former selves. The butt of numerous jokes, in fact. Why did the Hatter piss in his own hat? What did the Hatter do with his last bullet? And so on. The answers aren't worth repeating. Leadership. That's what was missing. But with the embarrassing defeat at the hands of the Bottle Street Boys of all things. There now. You mustn't become agitated. You'll inflame your arteries, which will only cause you unneeded agony. I can ease the pain, but only if you promise to behave yourself. No? Ah, that reminds me. I must see Jerome about getting more Oxrush. But fresh out.
Killing Trimble gets a very positive reaction from the geezer, but we're not gonna do that. what we did was we pickpocketed the key to the sewer from Trimble. Since there is a third person who knows the engine room code, the Hatter's mechanic, who is in some trouble in the sewer. We're gonna go there, we're gonna get the key to a locker in his apartment, and we're gonna check out the code from there. Thus avoiding all of this nasty business of talking to people or killing them.
This position says to bring bottle. He says to bring
That jump could have gone better. But hey, we've been through worse. Have I mentioned I hate river crusts? I do. They always cause a sort of a panicky response from me, just running, and they're nasty.
What if Dowd comes this way? He won't fall from a pretty face and a few tears.
Then so much for our little sister. But we'll make sure the job is done.
Yeah, there's a woman feigning
Someone's coming.
being in trouble, who turns out to be a witch. It's very, very difficult to get past there without them noticing at all. But slightly alarming them doesn't break Ghost yet. So despite the annoying sound cue, we're fine. If not perfect. This is a bit tricky since there are a couple of Hatters guarding the place, and you need to locate them by sound. I'm not sure whether it's just nostalgia or not, but I do believe that all of the Looking Glass Studios Thieves games had much better positional audio. It's very, very hard for me to locate people based on their footsteps in Dishonored. We just need to get to the Hatter mechanic's apartment, which is right across the corner to the left. And had the Dead Eels won the first fight, this would be no trouble at all, because we could just run there.
Dead eels! Undine? What kind of name is that for a boat?
He seems agitated, but luckily blind.
Yeah, someone's still around.
It's not particularly interesting, this bit of stealth, but
Someone's still prowling.
slightly more interesting than just running here would have been, I guess. jumping on top of the sewing machine was the only way I found to get up here without Blink. And we've got the code. It's 165, clearly. And we just need to make our way back to the textile mill and go downstairs this time.
Gotta keep my eyes.
Had we killed Wakefield, we would have seen the only
Anything good?
Shut up.
unique kill animation in the DLCs. All of the other targets share kill animations with people from the main game, but Wakefield has a unique one. Got it a bit close with the timing there, but not too close. Here we are again. Now that people are more actively patrolling the outside, it's slightly more delicate, the timing. Since they can see inside that small locker room from the outside window. And here we are.
Chunk of metal and wiring. If this gets me closer to Delilah's throat, so be it.
I would have also rolled the code back to 000. Where were we not? Making a video here, it would not be particularly interesting to watch. I just like to make everything neat again after I'm through. This mission is much easier than the previous one. There's barely any truly challenging stealth bits. I guess it's a welcome change after the previous mission, which was very difficult, but this just felt sort of anticlimactic after that.
Got anything? Draper's Ward is the sweetest salvage since the plague came.
You ask me? We should stick to the factory work. Shrouds are bringing in plenty of coin.
Loot like this just sitting here? That's not how the Hatters play.
Doing the deal with Trimble would turn many of the Hatters neutral. Not all of them, but the ones on the main floor in the textile mill at least. These guys you would still have to sneak by. Trimble's deal also requires you to go and make some noise while freeing the textile mill's water wheel from the clutches of a bunch of witches trying to keep the gang war going. Okay, we're going over. And checking up on the trash. Yeah, still alive and well. Probably not the worst place he's ever woken up from.
Here's a surprise. The job's done and the fighting stopped. Next you'll be running for High Overseer. Reattach that coil and we'll start upriver tonight.
I don't know why the fighting stopped. But there's gonna be a bit more. Because this happens. You can make this not happen by dealing with the witches preparing for the ambush. But like this, we don't need to touch anyone.
Please, do the honors, Dowd. Fire up the engine from the bridge.
Lizzie can die during the battle. If she does, Dowd will captain the ship with his assassins as the crew. But that's the mission. We'll finish the DLC on Sunday.